Good afternoon, everyone. It is November 9th, 2022. This video is going to be about how I look at structure and what I mean when I talk about structure. It seems people are a little bit confused as to what it means and how I go about looking at things. And it's not as confusing or as ambiguous as it might seem. What I like to do is look at a very high time frame and then go down to smaller and smaller and smaller time frames to find the precise spot that I want to be long or short at. Keeping in mind on the ES, for example, I trade for 5 points, but I'm well aware of these higher time frame balances. Right now, we're looking at a roughly 1,000 point range on the S&P futures. So the first thing I would do is kind of look at where the trading ranges are. You can call these balances. You can call them. You can call balance zones, churning, rotational, whatever you want to call it. It's just a trading range, right? So we can look at this as a box, for example. You can just take the middle of that box, right? And what happens when we extend that box out to the side? It starts to look pretty interesting. The middle of that box ends up being support. The lows of the box were interestingly enough, resistance once we fell through, right? We peaked back into the box, we fell back out, peaked in, fell out, peaked in, and we're able to hold it, and we tried to get to the top of the box. It's pretty simple. So from there, all I do is I draw that out. And this is now turned into more so me only looking at the past few months. I've kind of ignored what happened in June now, so now I'm looking just more so like this. So to me, we have developed a new trading range, and that's all I'm looking at, are just balance areas, if you want to call them that. Now, how do I actually go about finding areas of interest that might be future balance areas? Not too complicated. I start with a very high time frame. We can get rid of this for a second. All I'm looking at here are monthly and higher time frame structural levels. Here's the first half of the year's value area low. Here's a monthly close, monthly high, monthly open, quarterly halfback, quarterly POC, quarterly or last month's value area high. What can you expect when you look at things like this? Well, let's think for a second. Let's take off the lines. Uh, this is some sort of trading range, right? About mid-September, we make a high, we make another high in October, early in October. Let's call the low somewhere around 3,600, right? Look at this. This ends up being some kind of trading range. Once we get below this area, we peak in towards the middle of it, right? And then you can add in these levels. Okay, we're getting above 92. That's value area high. When things get above value area high, they tend to make a run for the swing high, which would be the October high of the month at 39.16. So we know it's going to be somewhat bullish once we get above that 92 number. There is a larger number of the halfback of the year, or sorry, the first half of the year's value area sitting at 38.75. So you won't really get that large momentum shift until we accept over 75. And if we did, I would look for us to be really targeting where all the volume was done in the third quarter. And then you just keep doing this on lower and lower time frames. So now we're looking at the week as well. Again, we'll get rid of the developing volume profile. Okay, so you have the weekly halfback at 38.14. You have a weekly open at 37.93, coincidentally right on top of that October value area high. Once you get above the weekly halfback, again, you're looking to see if it can take out the swing high, which would be last week's high a little bit higher, but we know there's other crap in the way. That's higher time frame. Or at least would look for a move to value area high, which is sitting at 39.09. To the downside, if we lost this halfback, I would look for us to go to the open. If we lose the open, I'd look for us to go to value area low from last week, 37.60, which is what we did. We lost the halfback, and we went down to value area low at 37.60. We do that again on the daily time frame. This has been updated to use today's RTH numbers. Let's get rid of the external trading hours, and those are both RTH as well. It's the same thing on this lower time frame. And again, let's get rid of this developing profile. What do we see? Well, today, actually, notably, value area low, I don't have it marked off now, but value area low from Tuesday session was sitting at 14.5, I believe. So we couldn't even enter yesterday's value area low. Such a low time frame thing. We couldn't get over that. Well, probably because it's related to the last week's halfback. Okay, so what happens when we can't get back into value? Well, we're probably going to go visit yesterday's low of the day, which was 37.93, which is what happened. Went and visited 93, right? It's just looking at things for me, starting at a very high time frame and really starting with a blank chart like we did here, getting an idea of where big trading ranges are, and then just using these areas of interest to find more precise numbers, right? So today I was short at 14, or sorry, I believe I was short at 13 half. I think I was short at 13 half today in the morning. Wednesday session. Where are we? Where are we? Here. I was short at 13 half. Looks like 14 was actually the better number. Above that, I had 25 as a level. I think settlement highs were sitting at 21.75. Monday's high of the day. Yeah, Monday's high of the day, 21.75. So that creates an area of interest. I'm interested in 21.75, that area. 25 to me looked like a great level from the Globex session, right? Look, we can just, actually this might be a little bit clearer for you guys, because I've not moved these levels yet. Let's get rid of the little VWAPs. There you go, there's 25. Let's add in Globex's session. 25 was doing really well. Catches a bid on Tuesday's close time. Again, bid, 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 bid. Gets a little bit wish-washy, offers right before the open, and then offers again around 10:15 during the RTH. So that's all I'm really looking at is where is the high time frame balance, and then how do I play within that? Where are the major trading ranges, the major highs? This 38.20 to 38.30ish area. Let's take off my magnet. This area, this clump from October, if you just extended it out, the middle of that ends up being pretty important, whatever that is, 37.78. Gets offered, gets a bid, and now we churn around it, and now we've lost it again. And now it's getting a little less relevant. It's been a month since that occurred. It's probably going to become less relevant. There's no real precise science to it, but once you understand how to read a blank chart and get an idea of areas of interest, then you can start using these structural levels and narrowing them down lower and lower and lower, and then you can find precise spots where you might want to be short or long. If you look carefully at my intraday chart over here, you will see numerous black lines, and they do perform decently. 81s, that got offered. 74s got offered. 60 got bid. But because the larger trading ranges and the balance zones, if you want to call them that, because the larger balance zones and the structure doesn't support it, it means I won't take it. This video is getting long. It's 9 minutes, but that's what I mean by structure. Hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully over time, just by watching these videos, you guys can get an idea. But that's what I'm really looking at. There's 56, got offered, held the bid. There's 66, almost the high of the day. So that's what I mean when I say I'm reading structure. That's what I mean when I say there's certain areas I want to be long, certain areas I want to be short. Right? Once we built all this inventory and moved up, do I really want to be long today after we've lost this inventory and ramp? No, right? And you can look at that just by a blank chart. Here, we can make it a 30 minutes so it's even clearer. When we churn like this and then move up, we held the bid once already, and I said to a friend, I was looking for 90 to 92 to be bid yesterday, and we did get a bid. And we caught some more bids today. But once this clump of inventory collapses, Do I really want to be looking for a long? Would it be smarter to say, oh, okay, this looks kind of like a level. We probably are going to go into there. Why don't I wait for this level to fail and then short it down towards 3720-ish? That's all it means. That's all this structure stuff means. I just find areas of interest on varying time frames, and then I figure out what I want. And then I look at those balance zones at a high time frame on a monthly outlook. I look at them on a weekly outlook, just like how I was looking for that backfill around 80. Almost got it, and then the crap out. We'll see how CPI goes tomorrow. And then I just do the same thing on the daily. I wasn't looking to offer 25 today. I was looking to bid it. I did get my sell at 13s, right? I got my sell at 13s. I didn't get a chance to bid 25. It did end up being a level. I maybe should have sold. I don't know. I never got a chance to sell 93s based on my rules. It was way too late in the day for me to sell 58s, right? So I hope that makes sense. It's 11-minute video. Truly, just keep watching the videos. Join the Discord if you want to ask questions, whatever. But I hope that does help. Have a good night, you guys.